Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. And yeah, I just wanted to say that I think I may have hit a wall or a plateau. So what you may be saying this, but before you move on, I just want to say thank you for clicking on this. Thank you for giving me your time and attention. So throughout the video, I'm basically just going to be showing you guys my art progress for the year so far. I have just put in snippets and pictures of my sketches, and they are in no particular order. So yeah, they'll just be randomly sprinkled out, as well as in the background, I will just be drawing some manga panels. Now, the manga panels aren't typically for I just mainly just gonna be for like a potential submission I will be making, but then the panels are mainly just for practice. Um, and then you'll just be seeing like my progress as well as my current level. I personally think that I am a beginner slash amateur in terms of art artist in terms of drawing, because I'm able to draw decently enough that I'm better than the average person, but not good enough to where I'm considered a good artist. I don't have that much experience in terms of digital or the color gradients. In terms of black and white and pencil, I think I am a cut above the rest for a tiny bit, because that is how I mainly practice. Traditionally is where I'm at. But uh, let's not drag it on. I do think that I have hit a wall, because at this point in time, it's where normally I can't practice 1 hour a day anymore and just see improvement, because I currently practice more or less around maximum 1 hour a day, and I feel like I'm not improving at all, man. Like, to be honest, um, like for example, the one you see on screen there, that took me almost 2 hours to do, because thinking about the proportions and angles on my head to make it look like how I wanted to make it look like, it took me at least 2 hours. And that's the realization that I've come across, because even with making some of these panels, making the full thing took me around like at least 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours to just to do, because I have to think of the pose, I have to like visualize it in my head, and I've gone to the point at which um, I have to now actually spend more time if I want to improve, because I've had like this the if you guys have seen the slope, the skill curve, it's where at the beginning you're learning so much new skills, but then at some point you hit a skill level at which you're not able to kind of like learn at the same rate as you were. So then now, if I want to actually learn more at the pace that I want to keep up, I have to actually start putting in more time, because before, when I was still a beginner, literally any time spent learning it would instantly cause improvement. I would remember back then, I remember like weeks, months ago, I could just watch one 10-minute YouTube video, and all of a sudden I've improved like by tremendous amounts. But now, even like recopying art that I see on Pinterest or Google, it's just for even an hour, I feel like there's no improvement at all. Um, that's the harsh reality of it, is that I've gone to the point at which now I have to actually start taking my practice seriously. I can't just do the normal. If I want to keep up the pace of like being able to properly improve by the end of the year, I have to at least increase the time spent on it, and I just can't keep on doing things the same way that I used to. That's like the reality that I actually face now, because as I was drawing some of the pages, I'm not sure if it had skipped it, but the perspective angles, I realized that wow, like at the rate I'm going, I'm not actually like going to improve, because with some of the sketches, I actually did rush them, because I had seen that I was like past the 1 hour limit that I gave myself to practice every single day. So I inevitably decided to just, all right, 1 hour's up, let me just ink it and move on. That's the actual problem, because now that I'm just like rushing things, I feel like I'm not actually learning something. I'm just doing it just for the sake of doing it. It's not actually starting to become a hobby where it's like I'm learning and improving and improving. And like that's only when I realized um, when drawing these manga pages, like where I actually spent time to like properly draw some of these pages, as well as research posts online, research examples, actually read some manga panels just to see the paneling and stuff. That's when I actually realized that if I want this to be a proper hobby where I actually have fun and I actually improve and enjoy it, I have to now start spending more time on it to improve. Because at the current pace I'm going, I'm eventually just gonna end up hating it, and it's just gonna end up being busy work for me personally. Because I don't know how some of you guys may do it, of saying 5 minutes a day and still improving, 1 hour a day and still improving. But for me personally, at a time, I would need to, I now need to spend 2 to 3 hours if I want to improve every single time I draw, because I'm just not able to. Like, I just hit a plateau at which I've learned almost all of the basics, but now it's time to actually start applying them. And yeah, like that's just like the harsh reality that I just needed to wake up from, because I can't keep doing the same things that I used to do before. I can't keep cutting corners if I want to actually improve, because I think that was like kind of the reality that like I faced now, because practicing it has gotten so difficult now that I've kind of like started to cut corners, that I've actually realized that I'm starting to forget, like, or do not know how to draw the basics properly. Because in terms of like, does it look decent? Sure, like I think there's even like a picture where like there's this like, when I drew someone kicking, um, or like a kicking or fighting pose, and while it looks good with all of the clothing on, as well as like the body parts are decently drawn and are decently to proportion, the main issue I have with that is that there were so many corners that I did to so many I cut so many corners to doing it in under an hour, that I practically didn't really learn how to do it the correct way, because I was mainly just focusing on, okay, I gotta do this quickly, I gotta do this, making it look decent as possible. When after that, I literally sat down and thought, I literally do not know how to draw the figure by itself, like the actual body. I started just drawing clothes on people to cut corners, to the because with clothes you don't have to draw the actual body. You can just draw a rough outline of what it's supposed to look like. So, and that's the actual problem, because I actually drawing clothes actually caused me to have a crutch that I don't know how to do figure drawings anymore. Like, I've used clothing as a crutch, I've used shading and lighting as a crutch, because now I don't know how to actually draw clothing on like the people. Because how the heck am I supposed to, like, now I have to actually start physically thinking, okay, I can't draw, I can't do any shading, I can't draw any clothing, because I know the moment I start doing it, I'm basically using it as a crutch to not like actually learn how to draw figure drawings, as well as like learning perspectives and whatnot, because I thought I know perspective, but then like I only know perspective at a certain angle. The moment you rotate it, it kind of like falls all the way off. And that's just the thing. And but then hey, I can always talk about the main issues I have, the problems that I have, but it's actually time that I start mentioning some solutions to the issues of how I'm gonna face this plateau. So I don't just ramble on. My main plans are just going to be to, just focus more on figure drawings or practice. I'm gonna start like focusing more on figure drawings, so that, because if I know how to do figure drawings, I can basically just put any type of clothing on them. Um, as well as figure drawings are basically like the best way to learn. It can help you with a ton of stuff. Um, as well as like, cause if you know how to draw the actual person, shading, clothing, everything else just comes much more simpler, because you know how like it's supposed to fit on that person. The second thing I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be treating shading as a separate thing, like coloring. I'm gonna be focusing more on digital shading and coloring rather than like physical, just because um, there's more variety digitally, as well as it is a big money saver, because I don't have to buy markers and whatnot. In terms of clothing, I think I'm gonna take a step back from clothing for now. I will draw clothing separately, but not on the body, just because I have been using it as a crutch, just to like avoid drawing the actual figure. And yeah, that's basically my plan. Just like just to do more figure drawings, start to like actually learn rendering digitally and improving. But this is not an indefinite thing. I will be doing a 30-day challenge where I practice as much as possible in 30 days. Um, like it's not. I'm not gonna force myself to do it every single day consistently. I'm just gonna be doing it for. I'm just gonna be filling 30 pages, and then I'm gonna be showing you the results of the before and after. This is technically the before version of like my current skill set that I have acquired over the past month of February. So in March, hopefully, I will be able to show you guys the new skill set after I have shown you guys my new strategy for practicing, because I think every single time you need to always reflect and look at yourself, because if you're not always changing the way you practice, you're not going to be able to improve and go forward. But enough about that. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to comment down below what you thought about the video, as well as if you have any recommendations. Hey, or maybe if you have any interests, because hey, maybe some of you guys are actually interested in the manga that I was like drawing over here. Like maybe I could actually like finish it up sometime if I have any time, or if you guys want to help assist. But I'll see you in the next one. Peace.